And so, the saga of Malcolm Brogdon in the NBA continues, leading us on an emotional roller coaster of uncertainties and promises. Since the collapse of a deal that would have sent him to the Clippers back in June, Brogdon's future with the Celtics remained shrouded in mystery. However, the cards were reshuffled when Brad Stevens orchestrated a trade to bring Jrue Holiday to Boston, sending Brogdon and Robert Williams to the Portland Trail Blazers. What seemed to be merely a financial maneuver swiftly transformed into a new narrative. Celtics fans wondered, what role would Brogdon play on a team already brimming with young talents, especially with news of his elbow injury during the playoffs? However, Blazers GM Joe Cronin surprised everyone with his words during the team's official presentation. "We want Malcolm to come here and be a part of this," Cronin told reporters in Portland. "He can bring some valuable skills to us on the court, and also as a veteran, something we're going to need. We have a very young roster. I want to make sure there's enough veteran leadership around these guys." These heartfelt words from the core of the Blazers organization shed new light on Brogdon's situation. While many assumed he would be traded due to the team's focus on young talents, Cronin made it clear that Brogdon is a valuable part of the Blazers' plans. However, there's a layer of complexity in this narrative. Brogdon's injury and the Blazers' need to balance their salary cap might force a change, even if Cronin is currently committed to keeping the veteran player. This delicate situation was acknowledged by Brad Stevens during Celtics Media Day in Brighton. Malcolm had to be included in the trade due to the financial aspect of how these deals work, Stevens explained. "But I've talked about it before, Malcolm had every right to be frustrated with us in the middle of the summer. That said, I wasn't concerned if Media Day started today and Jrue Holiday wasn't available. He would be professional, because that's what he is. He's a good person, a good teammate. He understands the business aspect of this. I believe he will do really well. He's feeling good, he's ready to play, and we're thankful for the year he had with us." And thus, dear fans, we are left with an intricate plot full of twists and turns. What does the future hold for Malcolm Brogdon with the Blazers? Will he become a vital anchor for the team, guiding the young players with his experience, or will he be traded in search of new horizons? The uncertain future of Malcolm Brogdon. And so, the tale of Malcolm Brogdon with the Celtics has transformed into a saga full of twists and surprises. Since the collapse of a deal that would have sent him to the Clippers in June, Brogdon remained in limbo, without a definite home in the NBA. However, destiny had a new abode for him in Portland, part of a trade that also sent Jrue Holiday to Boston and brought Robert Williams to the Blazers. Curious and concerned, Celtics fans wondered, what role would Brogdon play on a team already blessed with young talents in its roster? And what would his recent elbow injury mean for his performance? The surprising turn of events came when Blazers GM Joe Cronin spoke to the press during the team's presentation day. "We want Malcolm to come here and be a part of this," Cronin said. "He can bring valuable qualities to the court, and as a veteran, it's something we're going to need. Our roster is quite young. We want to ensure there's enough veteran leadership to guide these young players." These words left Blazers fans intrigued and hopeful. While many expected Brogdon to be traded due to his experience and valuable skills, Cronin made it clear that the veteran is a fundamental part of the Blazers' plans. However, the situation is delicate. Brogdon's recent injury and the financial complexities of the NBA might pose obstacles in this path. Celtics coach Brad Stevens also recognized the complexity of the situation. Malcolm had to be included in the trade due to the financial issues involved in these deals, Stevens explained. "He had every right to be frustrated with us in the summer, but I trust that he will be professional, as he always has been." Thus, we find ourselves at a crossroads in Malcolm Brogdon's story. Will he become a vital anchor for the Blazers, leading the young players with his experience, or will he be traded in search of new opportunities? The answer remains uncertain, but one thing is clear: this is a narrative we will continue to follow closely, with hope and anticipation, as Brogdon navigates the turbulent waters of the NBA. It seems that the trading season is not over for the Celtics, even after impressive acquisitions like Jrue Holiday coming from the Portland Trail Blazers. Who could have imagined that after swapping Marcus Smart for Kristaps Porzingis and signing a Supermax contract extension with Jaylen Brown, we still had more surprises on the horizon? Now, With the arrival of Holiday, some questions arise. Will the Celtics make more big moves? We have a high salary cap, which could make future significant signings challenging. But our beloved ESPN insider, Kevin Pelton, raised an interesting point when analyzing the trade between the Celtics and the Blazers. He mentioned the possibility of Boston pursuing Reggie-Bullock, a veteran wing who reached a buyout agreement with the San Antonio Spurs. The question is whether we can secure Bullock, as there are some new restrictions in the league that might complicate this process. Additionally, John Hollinger from The Athletic and experienced NBA reporter David Aldridge also speculated about the Celtics' next moves. They mentioned DeLon Wright from the Washington Wizards as a viable option. After all, we still have assets to trade, even if matching salaries could be a challenge. There's no denying that our team is brimming with top-tier talent. With Holiday joining Brown, Porzingis, Al Horford, Derek White, and, of course, Jason Tatum, we have an enviable roster. We are, alongside the Bucks, the favorites to win the Eastern Conference and perhaps even the NBA title this season. However, depth could become a concern, especially in the frontcourt. That's why our president of basketball operations, Brad Stevens, is exploring all options to ensure we have a championship-winning roster before the new season kicks off. And what about you, Boston Celtics fanatics? What's your take on Brogdon's journey and the potential new Celtics signing for the season? Let us know your thoughts.